So, you're getting into Cyberpunk 2020. You might have watched my previous video going over the beginning steps of how to make a character. I realized I forgot to add in the backstory, which is, I think, one of my favorite parts about Interlock's character generation, just the stories that you can generate with it. You got a general idea of what 2020 is. You finish playing 2077. I'm going to reuse this bit from the last video, but you're waiting for Cyberpunk 2 AD. You've got no idea how Pawn Smith is going to handle it, but hey, I'm sure he'll do something worthwhile with 2 AD. We'll figure out something for that setting. But you want to get into the tabletop. Good news, there's plenty of books and lore for you to deal with. Bad news, I think there's about 40-something of them minimum that you have to look through. And that's not including stuff like fanzines, everything you'll find on Data Fortress or Cyber Smileys, a whole bunch of shit you need to look at. I'll have those linked down below. Really cool. But you want to figure out what books you want to get from the Art House Orion store. I'm going to give you 5 books plus the base rulebook, which you should have if you bought Cyberpunk 2077. But you might ask, what is in a book? Why should a page smell so sweet, and why the fuck should I get this book in particular as opposed to Eurosource Plus? Certain things you want to look out for. Everybody needs to be able to use it. Just because one person is playing, a corporate doesn't mean that you should get Corp Report Volume 1, 2, and 3. A lot of cool stuff to learn there, but it's not important. You need to get the main books first. Second, it should have good lore, adventure hooks, just stuff that you can work with throughout the game. You want to have something you can mess with. You don't want, again, Eurosource or Eurosource Plus. Very limited lore. They're decent enough for what you might need if you're looking to do a Euro game, but better stuff you could do there. Equipment. I've heard Cyberpunk called Gun Barbie so many times, and it's true. You're going to mess around with equipment, guns, clothes, housing, whole shebang. You want to have good equipment lists. These can be found scattered throughout books, but there'll be 3 main books that we touch on for that. Everything else goes into lore. Useful background. This goes into the lore stuff as well, but you want to have specific lore that you can work with. And if you don't have that, good background with the world is just as important. You want to know, okay, what are the gangs? What's stuff I need to be aware of? Who is this person and what should I include them in the game? And finally, we want them to be in print. Just because you might be able to find a copy of Bart Moss's Guide to the Net for upwards of $500 on eBay doesn't mean you should get that right off the bat. Let the collectors handle that, and you'll figure that out later. But we need to, if we go over everything again, everyone needs to use it. It needs to be a good source of adventure hooks, lore. It needs to have good equipment lists. It needs to have useful information about the game. And it needs to be affordable and in print. So, combining all of those together, here are 5, technically 6 books that would be worthwhile for you to get. First up, this one's obvious. It came free with your Xbox, you have fucking Uno. And in this case, Uno is the 2020 rule set. This came with the purchase of Cyberpunk 2077. Should be on the CD Projekt Red website. You'll be able to navigate it if you look around. It should be in your download section. After that, we have what I would consider to be the only other book you actually need to run Cyberpunk. The Night City Sourcebook. This, as expected, goes over Night City as a setting. But that's not all. It includes gangs, notable people. There's a few things to generate random encounters. All in all, this is probably the best book you could have beyond the base rule set. It'll cover everything you need. And it's also a good read, just going through it, learning more about the city. Hell, you can even find out about the original Valentinos, Not the legally, distinct Spanish cartel gang that, focuses on, the Santa Madre and all of that you see in 2077, but the greaser culture inspired dudes who just go around trying to bang the hottest chicks in NC. Massive change. Want to do a video on them, just going over the full change. Second and third on our list. I'm including these just because they're really important for the equipment section. We have Chromebooks 1 and 2, that is a single book, and Chromebooks 3 and 4. These will cover pretty much the entirety of base Chrome that you need. You might have specialized stuff that you can find elsewhere. Maximum Metal is great if you're running a military-style campaign. Chrome Berets is also really good for that. But with these, it will cover pretty much anything you need baseline. It's got housing, it's got weapons, it's got fashion. By God, it even has cyber pets. You will have everything you need for a base game before you start wanting to invest in specific stuff like Euro Tour or maybe Chrome Berets if you're going for, a real rough and ready, fighting in the jungles of Vietnam, while CCR is blasting over the waves. After that, another one to this whole list, Blackhand Street Weapons. Something I love about Cyberpunk 2020 that I wish was touched on more in Red, the descriptions of the weapons. Everything with them is very specific and just touches on anything you could want. You want to know more about a specific pistol? Congratulations, here's a small blurb. You want to know why it's different to a other type of pistol that's within the same caliber? Congratulations, you can figure that out as well. It's going to be slight bonuses. This is lost in Blackhand Street Weapons, but it will include everything you want for the stats. Damage, rate of fire, who makes it, cost, availability. Everything is set there. So, thing you just need to be aware of, you won't get the full enchilada here, but you're going to get some damn good appetizers for when you do decide to buy it. Next up, and this one is admittedly more for the DM side of things, but is very important, I think, just to have. This is the Fixer Sourcebook Wildside. Wildside is really important because it essentially just covers the background stuff that, the players might not necessarily touch on unless they are playing a Fixer. Fixers give you the jobs, get you information, get you shit. Anything you need, a Fixer can probably get, or they know somebody who can help you get it. If you're willing to talk with them, give them a little bit of scratch, scratch their back, they'll scratch yours, you'll get what you need. Thing with Wildside, this covers gigs, the specific types of Fixers you'll find, what's the difference between, a shoemaker and a mule. Everything you can need will be found here. This is more, like I said, for the game master. Let them know what specifically you're looking for in terms of gigs, background information, everything of that nature. Really good to have, and also, it's a good look into what specific class books look like. Pondsmith, if you're watching this, hell, even anyone at Artel, where's my goddamn techie source book? We need a techie source book, we need a med techie source book, hell. You can put them together for all I care. Just give me a fucking techie source book. We need it. Do something with it, man. Cyberpunk Red is dying for books, and I don't even play Red. Give us something. So all in all, this should be a good, quick video giving you a rough idea of what you're looking for in terms of books. I'll put the exact price of all of them up as I go. These should be found on DriveThruRPG, eBay if you want to get like first edition stuff, or the Artel Historian's store if they remember to restock stuff. That's a big if. We've been looking for the 2020 manuals for a while and have not managed to find some directly from Artel. But I hope this is a good little interim video before I go ahead and make another of my How to Create a Character series, specifically going over the backstory generator for Cyberpunk 2020. That is probably one of my favorite things in the entire system, like I mentioned before. And also, I'm working to figure out how to play a Netrunner. I've never played a Netrunner before in my life. My table generally doesn't play Netrunners. It's just not something that vibes with us. We have an NPC do it. The DM, he does some rolls behind the screen. Is like, okay, Netrunner's doing well. Or, holy shit, the Netrunner just got hit by black ice. You guys need to Delta right fucking now. But yeah, that should give you a rough idea of what we're looking for here. So I hope you all had a wonderful time with this video. Subscribe. I do a Dark Souls retrospective rerun right now, playing through the Dark Souls series. After that, gonna go play Outer Wilds. I am also making a bunch of these Cyberpunk videos to try and get some life back into the community online. It's small enough that we have recognizable faces. I am not one of them, but who knows, I might be. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it, but you all know the drill. Stuff down below, do with it as you see fit, and see ya in the next one. Later, chooms.